Hello, dude. I regret that I've been coming in here lately with nothing but unfavorable comments, but I had to speak up. You have to be honest. You must pass the ball, Mona. Man, you have to pass the ball. Unfortunately, Joe isn't in the best frame of mind because you're new, and that would reflect poorly on him. However, I was like, oh my God, I don't want to listen to this when I saw the Patreon yesterday and noticed how much time you guys spent discussing music-related stuff before you started talking about Batman. This is not something I want to hear. Joe didn't give to the great bulk of the Patreon yesterday, so it's obvious that he didn't either. I also adore Mona's presence. I'm sorry that I'm always criticizing her, but you have to reach a certain point on the JV. You can't just bring whatever you have because both Joe and the audience will be speaking about it. As much as we complain about Joe being a horrible boss and how he continuously corrects everyone on the show, we also do the same thing in the comments. They are far worse than Joe. Additionally, Mona was mentioned in 80–85% of yesterday's Patreon comments. Please stop talking about her. Furthermore, I don't want to merely state that. Since we were telling Melissa the same thing in reverse, I don't want to tell her to stop talking. We informed her that she shouldn't say anything. She needs to talk more. This is where you are. If you're not going to talk, what are you here for? However, I won't claim that Mona is overly talkative, hostile, or anything of the sort. I'm not trying to put any negative connotations on anyone, but you have to read the room. I was able to read the room, and Mark experienced this problem to some extent. It's not nearly as awful, and it took Joe almost a full year to begin monitoring him for this. Recall the scene from a few episodes ago where he said to Mark, "Hey, we got a whole hour. Don't be concerned about my actions. I'm being paid to answer these questions, so don't worry about what they're saying." Put an end to he essentially informed Mark that since Mona has already started making jokes about it, things will reach that point much more quickly. You goddamn chick don't share or pass it all, Mona. Naturally, no. I operate my own microphone. People will tune out if I don't speak for extended periods of time because, well, who else is there? For what other purpose are they here? Therefore, I'm not upset with her for having the Mike syndrome. She must. I purportedly now finance and manage my own business. However, you now have 7 additional microphones on the program, which is an issue in and of itself. But I recently spoke on a Patreon. With the individuals he already has on the show, I believe Joe will begin creating new versions of the program. Additionally, the lowest paid tiers will be occupied by the worst performers, while the highest paid tiers will be occupied by the best performers. If you witness an episode with a Mona, a Mark, a Flip, an Ish, and a Joe that falls beneath a $50 or $25 tier, don't be surprised. But if everyone ignores Mona, we won't even reach that stage. And you can already see it taking place. She believes that when she speaks and asks questions, people are not listening to her. In reality, though, they're attempting to bypass it because you've already used too much microphone time. You've already provided far too many drawn-out stories, inquiries, and responses. Picking and choosing is okay. We're also upset with Flip because he's doing exactly what we all want Mona to do. We're getting enraged with Flip.
Why have you come here at all? For what reason are you in this place? You don't talk, you don't contribute. It seems that there is a fine line between making too many contributions and making no contributions at all. Because I'll call you out if you talk too much. I'll call it out if you don't say anything. I therefore play a significant role in this issue as well. But good God, Mona, give the ball to someone. That's all. I'm not really trying to speak, but Joe has already made up his decision about Patreon's future. He is already anticipating the upcoming year and making preparations for it. For him, this year is over. All of the major choices he had to make were made by him. He claims that he already knows what's in store. He is working on a significant project, so he is more concerned with that. He's no longer even adding to his own pot, so you can't claim that's not the case. I'm finished. You guys do anything you guys want to do. He made a joke about Mark and Mona needing to find their position and stay in their lane, saying y'all over here trying to run anyway. You all believe that you have far too much authority up here, and because I talk the most when I'm here, Mona will demonstrate that. I don't mind her contributing to every topic, but I'm not sure how long the more experienced members of the JVP will continue to listen to her on many of the topics she discusses. However, I can't say that while listening to all these folks talking about up there. I can't say that. I'm going to be biased, dude. Oh no, I'm not sure. I've never witnessed such quick secession and vitriol at one co-host, not even when Melissa Ford vanished and we were guessing about it. All of the comments except for the one where I mentioned 15%, Mona stopped talking. The Rock was traversed by Mona. You talk too much, Mona. What are you doing, Mona? What a ratchet you are. All of this. Unfortunately for Mona, though, it's because she's new. It's because in many of our eyes, she's a female or a woman replacing the only woman who has appeared on this show. I know that there have been other people on the show besides her. Special thanks to Marissa. But you have to replace Melissa Ford, the main lady who was on the JVP, while simultaneously acclimating yourself to everyone else. I hope you accept the advice before Joe delivers it to you, but I don't want to keep dogpiling since I produced a bunch of videos criticizing you while I'm one of your biggest new admirers. In addition, you know that Joe won't do it behind the scenes. He intends to do it on the pod. He will instruct you to stop talking about the cannabis.
I noticed your response, so that will make you feel a specific way. I witnessed what transpired between you and Tony the Closer on Danny's Patreon, along with your reaction. I don't want to blow up to a Kurt because I anticipate one in the near future, and I don't want Mona to be involved. Mona is crying because she and Flip are getting into a heated argument, which is already terrible enough. However, I keep telling you that many of these folks who claim to be the hardest people on the planet are actually the most sensitive. On the pod, Joe will say something to her. She will eventually lose it because these people will keep making inside jokes about her on the pod. She will explode. Therefore, we had to address all of these issues early on. I detest criticizing Mona in this way since I don't want to change her perspective. I don't want to discount her viewpoints. I don't want her to stop talking because someone told her to pass the rock. But you have to go beyond that rock, goddammit. However, please share your thoughts with me in the comments, dude. Hello, I've noticed a lot of activity on the JBP and the Angela Rowe problem on YouTube. I'm witnessing folks talk about him that I never would have imagined talking about Joe Budden, and many of them are praising him. However, I go into more detail about that on Patreon. Thank you for all of your support. If you enjoyed the video, please let me know. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the page. You already know how awesome we are if you have. I want to make sure I finish the film with that, even though I'm very certain I repeated it. I'll see you all a bit later. Tranquility.